Bit. Ja.
One.
Mhm.
Ah! Super. Woohoo!
We are live!
We are
We are
still
live.
live.
Yes, and welcome all moms to be, all my darlings, all you folks who are watching this live or who are watching this as a replay. Today, I have a big privilege to host on my first live stream duet my very special friend who I met for a few months ago, actually, and we instantly connected, not only because of our work, of our passions, but also because we have the same energy, I believe. And today is with me.
Linda says she can't hear us. Do you see that message?
What?
Linda says she can't hear us. I see it on my.
You cannot. Okay, let's check it.
Is it only Linda? Can someone else say if they can hear us?
Okay. Let me check. We have everything. We have 6 viewers. Can someone confirm it if you can hear us? Oh no, bumpers. Wait, let me check. Maybe we have. Can someone confirm, please, if you can see us? Not see us, hear us.
Tina can hear it. Yeah, maybe
I can hear you, okay?
Yeah.
Linda, darling, can you go out and go back in? Maybe you were too fast. Yeah, she doesn't hear me. Right. Wait, I will write to her. Okay, so Tina can hear us, so that means that probably is working. So that means that probably is working. Yes, it is working. For me, it's working. So that means that. Okay. Okay. So let's go back a little bit. Tech difficulty. So Asja, who is Asja? I will just shortly introduce her, and we will go through our live stream, and she will talk more about her mission, her passion, her work. I will just say that one thing that really blew my mind when I have read her blog and went through her page was one sentence. And this was, Asja, correct me, darling, if I say this wrong, but it was, I heal people, not merely their symptoms. Is that right? This is kind of connected to my heart, because we are living in a society where doctors and different practitioners, they're all prescribing different medicines and just to heal some symptoms, but they don't go deeply in our problems and in our conditions. So I think you, as a reflexologist and natural healing therapist, you do much more as just healing symptoms. So, Asja, my dear, welcome. Thank you. And please tell us, who is Asja?
Thank you so much for having me here, my dear. It is a really big pleasure for me to talk to you and everyone who follows your page and what you do whilst changing the world in your own way. I'm someone who saves lives. I help those in search of happiness in a healthy body achieve balance on all levels of their being. And to do so, I use quite a lot of magic of my fingers and my heart. More concretely, I practice several ancient healing modalities which give a natural and non-invasive boost to the body. These are exactly the techniques which have helped me personally heal from an autoimmune disease. And because of this experience, I decided to study them in depth and be able to help others. I am mother to 9-year-old artsy Tara, showered with love by a cellist named Adrian. I'm a daughter of 2 extraordinary human beings. As you said, my biggest belief is in healing people and not just their symptoms. I believe in the magnificence of our body and its natural capacity to heal. I wish to live in a world of healthy people who understand that we are nothing but a part of nature and we need to go back to acting accordingly, to behaving, living accordingly. I care very deeply about empowering women through knowledge, and I am all into the concept of, or rather the art of self-care. Self-care is something ultimately important for me. So yeah, that would be it.
And self-care, you already said. My next question was actually, what is the most important to you? What you prioritize? And you already said that's self-care. But what do you prioritize as a mom?
I would rather go from, what do I prioritize as a human being? Primarily, I am a human being. I was before I became a mother, and for me, it is staying aligned. Staying aligned with what is my truth, what is my nature, what is my mission. This is of the highest importance for me. And then after that, really, really, really taking a really good care of me. Tonight when I speak with you and I address all the mothers and mothers-to-be out there who are with us now or will watch the replay of this video, I am talking from a position of someone who was diagnosed with supposedly incurable, debilitating and progressive autoimmune disease at the age when my daughter Tara was 1 year old, and I was so weak I was not able to hold her in my arms. So this is something that really completely changed the course of my life and marked me as a human being forever. So everything I am telling and talking about tonight is from that perspective. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'll let you ask your questions and we will get to the point.
I absolutely agree with you, as you say that first you're a human being, a woman, and then you are a mother. And I think that's something that we usually forget. We don't take care of ourselves. And I usually tell to my customers, and I always associate it with flying with a plane. When stewardess says, you need to put a mask to yourself first, and then you need to save your child. And if you don't care for yourself, you cannot care for your child. And this, you have put this so well. I don't have anything to add here, but I really want to know, because I know that you do a lot of stuff and you're very busy, but tell me, how do you spend your free time?
In my free time, I love to always study something, read something. I love to do yoga, of course. That is something very important, a very important part of my free time.
Which kind of yoga?
I practice hatha yoga.
Okay. I'm total beginner. I suck at yoga really big time. I wish I could do yoga better. So you will help me with that, I'm sure.
Absolutely, I'll be so happy to. So I really enjoy spending time in silence, but this is something I will talk about later. Another thing I do in my free time is communicate with my tribe, with my girls, with my support system. I connect people. Yay, that's us. I connect people. I communicate a lot with people who send me, their questions, their concerns, and doing this good deed of helping others is so fulfilling to me. I spend a lot of time doing that every day, and that is something really rewarding for me. So what I would also do, actually these days when we are having some summer in Switzerland, to go out in the sun. And
yes, exactly. I forgot to mention, you just mentioned it. Let's go back. Let's go back to the fact that why I was so intrigued by you. Of course, you live in Switzerland, which is a beautiful country. You have moved there from, was it from Germany, right?
No.
No.
Last country I lived in before Switzerland was Bosnia. I was in Sarajevo, in my hometown, for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I was in India. Before that, in Kazakhstan. Before that, sometime in Sarajevo. Before that, in Ljubljana, in Slovenia, where you also grew up practically. Yeah, in Croatia as well. I lived all over the place.
So that was like, for me, was the first time was when you asked me, when we first chatted on the chat, and you just said, and I said to you, in which language do we communicate? And you said, yes. Oh my God. So we have pretty much four languages, where I don't speak so good German, but I did study German when I was in high school. So German, Slovenian, Bosnian, and of course English. I can't Russian. I know that you can Russian as well, but I can Swedish. And Spanish. You speak Spanish? No, Italian.
No, but I understand both of them very well. And I just told our sister Farida yesterday, I'm so going to learn Spanish one day in my life. It's always been so attractive to me. I love languages. I really love, and wherever I lived, I learned the language of the country. The only bummer with India was that after I learned Sanskrit and I could just read everything, I had no idea what things mean. So I sort of gave up on it. Tara was born, and I decided to just be a mom and drop Sanskrit and trying to understand the signs on the streets. It would take so long.
Have you learned Hindi as well, or tried to?
Oh, no, I didn't even try. I learned. studied the alphabet,
Mm.
also Devanagari it's called, and I could read everything, but that really didn't make a lot of sense because you just have no idea what things mean, and I guess that would take years to acquire that knowledge.
I would love to
I'm
learn.
very good with English. I'm very good with English.
Yeah.
I can understand it very well. And I can help with that also very well.
But you know what? I truly believe, because I was raised, in Slovenia, but my parents are from Bosnia. And I was raised in bilingual, and your Tara is also multilingual child. So I truly believe that when my kids also speak several languages, or they are surrounded with several languages, I truly believe that that's a very good gift from parents to give their children, to learn them language, or languages. So that's also one super thing we have in common. I'm just so, every time I'm so blown away by so many things we have in common. And we just met recently, and I just feel that we are connected for all our lives. It's so crazy. But you mentioned before something that it will be a core of this talk, and this is, we all need to know, and we all would like to know, what is your mission?
My mission, I believe, is one of a catalyst. I believe that my mission is to cause others to make changes towards, well, I mentioned before, towards a healthier living, towards getting back to understanding and acting as a part of nature that we are. So I believe I need to be telling my story, telling the story of health, nutrition, and all those things also you care about. Spreading the word, spreading the light, love, and causing others to make changes.
Because we talk a lot about what you give is also what you receive. I personally believe that when you receive something, you have such greater power to give even more. Is this also what you feel? When you
yeah, it's really extraordinary what happens on all levels, really, in your life when you share yourself, when you share your knowledge, when you share love, when you shower others with your own light. You get so much back. It is so empowering. It makes you feel so powerful. Like I feel like, the light that you shine is just gets more and more bright. It just gets brighter. The more you shine, the brighter your light is. The more you spread it around, the brighter it will be. It is just really sharing love, sharing knowledge, sharing this light is just such a rewarding experience. It makes you really feel like you're on top of the world.
We are sharing epidemic.
I love it.
Love epidemic.
I love it.
So today we're supposed to talk about balance. This is something that I talk quite a lot with my clients, with my customers, in terms of taking care of yourself in health terms. I have been also, part of my studies was also, I was studying more about work-life balance. This is also important for moms. But today you will talk about balance and self-care. Can you please explain to me and to our viewers why balance for moms and moms to be, and for all human beings after all?
Yeah, for everybody actually. So balance, when I say balance and when I talk about balance, I talk about balance being that only state in which our body can function optimally, right? That's the only thing I'm interested in. And as I mentioned before, I'm talking from a perspective of someone who really, truly, utterly screwed up in life when it comes to balance. I'm 38 years old now, and when I was 29, my whole system collapsed. I was literally on the floor. I said already I was not able to even hold Tara in my arms. I screwed up on all levels, and I want to share with all of you the things that I learned, right? Because, well, I should mention that three years after that diagnosis was given to me, 3 years later, the doctors deleted it from my medical files because there was just no more argument for it to be there. I've never took any medication. I didn't go through any medical treatment. All I did was going back to nature and self-care, self-love and self-care. Those were my healing milestones. So the first major and most radical thing was the change in my diet. So in order for our body to be in this state of balance in which it can function optimally, the first thing we need to do is to nourish it with proper, not proper food, it's a wrong way to say it, but to nourish it properly, meaning eat, for God's sakes, the things which feed the body. And for me, first and foremost, that is, fresh, living food, meaning food in its recognizable form. Nothing packaged from the shelves of the supermarkets and so on. Food, just remember this, food in its recognizable form, right? Then we need to drink reasonable amounts of fresh, if possible, living water. Yeah, I actually have spring water. So spring water would be the most living one. And when one says living, one means, full of energy, full of the vital force, full of prana. So not just any water. So one should look even on the market, even though, plastic bottles are a poison of their own, but one should look for water with a higher pH. Where I know both you and I, we love to talk about water a lot, and we drink a lot of water. And I haven't. I'm telling you, this is something I haven't been doing. I was a very, very bad drinker all my life until a few years ago. I had no idea. I did not understand the basic thing about water, and that is that the majority of our body is actually made up of water. So how the heck do you go on functioning, and how do you let your body without replenishing this water it's made up of, right? It's as logical as it can be. But did we hear about it on TV? Did we hear about it in primary school, in the kindergarten? Did we really hear about it at home? No, we didn't, because this is something not talked about, and it's one of the biggest truths of humankind. After water, I put down
sleep.
fresh air. Fresh air. It really matters. Two things matter. It really matters what kind of air you breathe and how you breathe. Right? These two things are really important.
How you breathe? What do you mean by that?
So of course, someone who lives, Zenica came to my mind. Someone who lives.
Yes, Ida.
Fatty, sister Fatty, you're on my mind and in my heart. It really matters what kind of air you breathe. Lately, for example, I'm so grateful for this Swiss air. In Sarajevo, for example, in my hometown, we've been having huge problems last years because of the smog. Sarajevo is one of the most, we can say, polluted cities on the planet. And people have serious respiratory problems, and people try to run away into thank God we have some hills, we have Olympic mountains, so we need to breathe fresh air. Another thing people don't understand is that when we breathe in, we don't only breathe in oxygen, we breathe in the vital force of prana, which is everywhere around, and it keeps our body alive. And when it comes to how you breathe, since we are talking with moms and moms to be, and women, maybe primarily, women tend to have very shallow breathing. You've been pregnant 3 times for sure. You remember when the belly gets really big, then we end up only with this so-called clavicular breathing, which is very, very shallow, so not deep. And I would be so happy to have as your guest one day our dear friend Daniela, who can talk about the difference in between breathing properly and breathing very shallow. So unless you breathe the diaphragm, deep enough, the diaphragm doesn't move up and down, it doesn't massage the internal organs, and so on and so on. It's a huge, it's a topic for a full interview, but let's just hope that we at least left it on everybody's mind.
I wrote down, Daniela, but also, when we are speaking about moms and moms to be, very, very important to start to breathe, because a lot of women, postpartum women, and I, as a no excuse mom leader, I lead a movement where I encourage moms to train to work out and to have no excuses not to work out. But the workout itself is not only doing, abs. They want to get in form, they want to get fit, but it's not about that. First, it's about discovering your inner muscles and starting to breathe here. We are not building our core or strengthening our core with doing workouts. Hi, Dana! Hi!
Ciao. Good night.
So, absolutely, I agree.
Real raw me on a Thursday night in my living room.
Yeah, that's how it is. Mayala is also awake, so pre-teenagers are like that. And it's summer break. Who could blame them? So yes, absolutely. We could talk about forever about breathing. Good that you mention it. Linda is sending love to Tara.
Yes. So And you touched upon exercise, and one of the biggest aha moments of my 2017, thanks to Daniela, is that movement, apart from food, water, air, sunlight, is actually something that nourishes the body. I have realized that I have done, Diana, so much damage to my body in the years in which I didn't move. I literally just went everywhere, door to door with a car. New Delhi was a place in which you didn't walk a lot, but just everything, the distances are so huge, right? In Kazakhstan, the roads are so, they are so horrific, but the only option is for you to drive, right? And then I went back to Sarajevo. I was there now for three years, and I was just doing everything in a car, even buying bread and stuff like that. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Not even having the slightest idea of what that is doing to my body. And then I learned that my muscles and all my tissues, they all participate in that balance, right? One needs to look at the body as a whole.
Exactly.
Totally as a whole. And unless all of them are active and working, forget about blood circulation, lymph circulation. Lymph doesn't move unless we move, because the blood.
Daniela is with us.
Yay!
Daniela is with us. And asking if something break. Can someone confirm? Do you hear us? Do we have a bad connection?
I'm not having here any signs that did something break or what.
Oh.
Maybe she has a bad connection.
Can you hear us? Guys, are you still with us?
Otto said something broke. Ask a question. This is a taboo kind of topic, especially for women.
Let's check.
Okay,
now.
Milva.
I hear you. You guys hear us? Yes, Linda hears us. So, darling, Milva hears us. Okay, Daniela, so then it's something with you. Okay.
Okay.
Me, so no hear, no see. Daniela, just a sec. Wait, I will write. Can someone write to Daniela? She needs to go down, shut down, and go back. Yes, I'm back. Great. Yes, the exercise.
So we will let Daniela talk about this in much greater detail, but I have to share my side of the story. So unless I'm moving, my lymph doesn't move. Unless my whole muscular system not working complete balance.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is something I have totally missed knowing, and as I said, it was one of my biggest aha moments of this year, and I'm so grateful to our dear Daniela Dragosavljevic, who has been working with me, and I am just feeling so much healthier. Crucial is sleep.
Yeah.
8 to 10 hours of sleep. Now the whole body, they seriously to regenerate, to recuperate.
You're breaking a little bit. Can you hear me?
Me? I can
I will put you down, and now, yes, you're back. It's breaking a bit. Yes, we know that. This is our first, so bear with us, please. Sleep 8 to 10 hours. Really?
Yes, really. And time. So going to feel this interview tomorrow. If I go to bed, if I go to bed after 10, anyhow, the brain, the whole body, they need this, they need quiet time. And by the darkness, this is what our master glands need. Sleep with their lamps on, this is totally wrong. So complete dark possible, and 8 to 10 hours. And if you it and to take care of it, you will do everything possible to get that sleep. I also mentioned
do you hear, Irina Kleb, do you hear? She's with us and she's saying sleep is crucial. Our beauty, she actually goes to bed after 1 o'clock in the morning. That's bad.
Yeah,
that's even worse.
But I heard in the school of macrobiotics, I heard that the system is feeding with vital energy in between 10 in the evening and 2 o'clock in the morning. So this is somehow how I determined my 10 o'clock, as a final moment to go to bed. But listen, I do not think it is the same for everybody. I know that you yourself can function with much less sleep. I know that Irena can function with much less sleep. The thing is that I've been seriously ill, and I believe that once you've damaged, once you pushed your body over its limits and it started breaking down, you are never again 100%. I would love that. Absolutely. I would so seriously love that for myself, but I don't think now, at least now, it's possible. My body might need more time, but in this moment, I just need this sleep, I need this food, I need the water, I need all these things. I need to move, I need to breathe super fresh air and do I don't know if I can recuperate for everything I've been screwing up for 30 years. I have no idea, but I know and I understand that I need to be very careful and super kind to my body. Another thing I mentioned before is that I love spending time in silence. This is something really new for me. In the last year, came through yoga. I try to call it meditate or spend time in silence. However, I used to always have some noise and a TV on and a radio on. Now I drive, from Switzerland to Romania without switching on the radio. It's something. There's something with silence. When I was, for some reason, no, actually not for some reason. I know why I was constantly creating noise in my life, because, in the space I was, there was always TV on, before it used to be MTV, CNN, whatever, had to be on, because I was so disconnected from myself. I could not stand, being on my own with myself, all by myself. And now that is completely different. And I really, really, really mind all the noise. I really mind. I cannot, it's just.
Is this the age thing, do you think, darling?
Sorry?
Is this the age thing?
No.
Is it becoming worse with age? Or is just self-awareness?
No, it's not that I can't handle it. It's just that it's so unnecessary. I don't need it. I try to explain to my daughter that, you know, we have this constant issue of why there's no screen time before sleep. Because every image your brain sees, it stores it, right? And then when you go to bed, at the time when it's supposed to be relaxing and going into sleep to regenerate, it's just playing all these images, playing all the sounds, well, playing all the smells as well, you know, from the day. But it's just totally unnecessary. My brain does not need that. And since 2010, I'm actually not watching TV, not listening to radio, apart from some, you know, music stations. And since I've been in Switzerland last 4 years, some cultural stations which are, you know, all about culture, just for God's sakes, to hear some German, to listen to some German. And I don't read any newspaper. I don't read newspapers, especially. I started with this when I was in Bosnia. There is no space for all those things in my in my system. There is I am doing everything I can to rebuild my system, and all these things and all the information, especially because it's mostly negative. It doesn't have any. I don't have storage space for that.
No, I just laughed because my brother came recently here. He moved here to Sweden. He brought me, you know, the yellow pages, like magazine with gossip. I was so like, do you even think that I would want to read that? And he said, yes, all women like that. No. I would rather, I don't know what I would rather do. I don't know anything else but to spend 5 minutes reading gossips and everything. I was just so blown away that he didn't, I don't know, because I changed also in past years. And I was so, what? Are you kidding me? No magazines, no newspaper, and no screening is, for us, is 5 to 8, no screening at all for now, for years, no screening for kids, especially for kids. I watch movies, and we watch movies. Well, not so often as we did. Me and my husband, we really. Now we are in. We have a final series of Prison Break. I love Prison Break, and this is today we will watch. Fortunately, if my dear Irena doesn't give me a midnight story, but anyway, yes, no screening, no gossips, no negativity. That's, I totally agree. That's so important. So much important.
Yeah.
What about, I wanted to ask you one more thing. What do you think about food at like night or evening? What is your
well, what I know is that if we eat raw food, so fresh fruits and vegetables after 4 o'clock, this is very taxing on our liver, because it has to be, you know, digesting these. After 4 o'clock, one should eat. One should eat raw. I felt best when I ate steamed vegetables. So I'm vegetarian. I feel best when I ate steamed. That's very light for the body. Yeah, that's it.
But generally, would you suggest, because I heard just recently, and I was so like really surprised, and this is like really, really logical to me, you know, breakfast, break and fast. It's really a combination of these two words, and it means, like in French, they stop eating after 6 and they start their morning or breakfast with 6 in the morning. So 12 hours of fasting. And this is like, we know that French, like they eat small portions regularly, and a lot of meals during the meal times during the day. I think that's also part of the balance, to have smaller meals during the day, not like only, we are used to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then like maybe in between. But really, if you divide those small portions during the day, I think that your body can absorb well, and it absorbs like in a good way. Is that right? What is your opinion about that?
I naturally eat just like that. I say that I can eat in one meal like a bird. I can eat very little, and then I'm hungry again, of course, soon. So I always eat 6 to 8 meals in a day, and none of them are huge, humongous. So there are practically main meals and then some snacks in between. That seems to be the best for my body. I don't know whether for everybody, but certainly, having a huge meal is very difficult for the body, and usually we feel like, sleepy. I mean, if people only paid attention to how do they feel after they eat certain foods at certain time, everything would be so clear to them. This is, I think, the best guide. I think this is the best guide. Let me say just the next thing that I wanted to mention on my list of what is really crucial for achieving and maintaining balance. I love this one. That is harboring healthy thoughts and healthy emotions. You need to be a harbor for only healthy thoughts and emotions. It is another truth that everything that happens in our physical body is just a manifestation of what happens in our energy body. Where our, in our mental body, in our astral body, our emotions and our thoughts are something every cell of our body hears and reacts to in every single moment of every single day. This is what they react to. And if we want to be healthy, we absolutely need to harbor only healthy thoughts and healthy, positive emotions. Nothing. I mean, of course, life is life. Life happens, right? But when we find ourselves in difficult situations, which are overwhelming and we can't handle them, please ask for help. Ask for professional help. Just get yourself as soon as possible from that anger, from the grief, sadness, frustration, fear. Do everything you can to take yourself out, because those emotions have a really devastating frequency for every cell of our body. Let me see if there's what is
stress. Do you hear me?
Yes. Tell me, what's on your mind? What about stress?
Because I have a really good rule that I always remember when I'm in difficult situation. We all go through difficult situation. Life is testing us, life is challenging. And when I go through this, I always think about rule 5-5. And this is, maybe it's ridiculous, but it's really good to remember. I don't put my energy or my thoughts I don't spend more than 5 minutes on something that won't matter in 5 years.
Wow.
Because I think everything like that happens, it affects you as a person, especially negative stuff. But you always have ability to learn from it. And if it won't affect your like future, don't spend time on it. If you can't affect it or you cannot like do something about it, so just leave it. Just go learn a lesson and move on. This I really practice, and this I always remember when I am in difficult moments. My mentor learned me a lot of power of positive thinking. My mentor from faculty in Ljubljana, she's a great mentor, Dr. Sandra Pingel. She will probably listen to this, and I'm internally grateful for her. And she learned me a lot about power of positive thinking. And my master thesis was about authenticity. So this is the best thing, that you can be your best self when you are positive. When you don't draw negativity, you just need to learn from mistakes and move on and be positive about life. I think this is the most manifesting.
Absolutely. Positive attracts positive, and negative attracts positive. I'm sure everybody has seen that, and people often ask me, okay, but how do I get myself out of that place? How do I change my frequency? Because I talk about frequency. Everybody who's in touch with me hears all the time, frequency this, frequency that, vibration this, vibration that. Everybody has a certain something which immediately, transports you to another place. For me, honestly, sometimes it's arranging the cupboards, where my clothes are. Sometimes it's just cleaning, sometimes it's music, sometimes it's sunshine. But I have learned that what works best for me is not to drown in my own misery, but to bloody move and ask for help. Asking for help is one of my biggest learnings in my life. Definitely one of the biggest ones, because now I understand that no matter the situation, there are always loving hands which are reaching down your deep black hole that you find yourself in, and always ready to help. But for God's sake, you have to reach up. Right? You have to. There is a step you have to make yourself. They are always there. They always will be there. Everybody is loved by somebody who wants to help. But you have to decide to ask for help, to take the help. This is really, that's huge, I think, in everybody's life.
Now, I want you to remember this very, very carefully. Always seek for help. Always ask for help, because there are people who are willing to help you. You don't maybe think about it, but ask for help and you will get help. Always. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed of asking for help, because there are still people who are willing to help. They are, and I truly believe that we are changing the world with just by being open and asking for help. And this is what we can learn our kids, really, like to dare to ask for help, really to reach out to other people. That's something that we really need to learn our children as well. I know that sleep is important for you. So we are going on the clock 5 minutes more, and I have a last question, and this will came as a surprise, but most of my viewers here and people who I work with knows me as a smoothie queen. I love smoothies. um, really, and this was also something that was just, oh my God, you know, when I saw your smoothie recipe. Please share with us your favorite smoothie recipe.
I will do that in a second. Just to say, the last thing that I want to share is that every day, what I do, what I learn to do, what I do for myself, or what everybody can do for themselves, are different techniques which provide this natural and non-invasive boost to the body, whether it's tapping, and I don't mean only EFT tapping by that, but you know, just tapping on the body, that really moves the energy. Like you start with the head and go down the whole body, tip to toe. That kind of tapping, one can find videos on YouTube. I, of course, as a reflexologist, I massage my hands a lot. I know what to do on my face. This is, you know, something which is so very important for me to tell people, that our body is just full of these magical buttons which communicate through the central nervous system with our brain, and send messages to the brain to stimulate our natural healing mechanisms. Right? So go learn about these. Write to me, you know, write to somebody who you know is in.
I will write here. I will write all your links and everything. Please, people, moms, all people who are watching
we can share all that. Just
I will share all the links. Yeah. They're amazing. Her channel, Asja's channel on YouTube, is amazing and full of great videos. So I will post here.
I didn't hear you.
Asja's YouTube channel. Do you hear me? Asja's YouTube channel is full of really good videos about how to tap. So I will post it here. So you will have all her links. Do you hear me? Can you hear me, dear?
No, I wrote to you because I didn't hear.
Okay. Now? Okay. Can you hear me now? No? Probably we are too long. Do you hear me? Linda can hear us both. Do you hear me?
Now I can hear you again.
Okay. I will post all your links to your blog, to your page, to your YouTube channel, so people will have a possibility to go through. Asja's YouTube channel is awesome, full of very good videos. So you will have a great value there of how to tap and everything. So I will post all her links and everything about Asja, so you will have a greater picture. Who is this awesome lady?
Yes.
Smoothie. You hear me?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I just was receiving some messages. Yeah, just a second. I need to tell this Yeah.
I will just go through the comments so we can see if we have any questions. Oh my God. Such great people here with us today. Irina, Nicolina, Daniela, Linda, Natasha. Hi, Natasha.
Thank you.
Who we have?
Smoothie. Smoothie is coming.
Yes.
Not to forget anything. Yes. So my favorite smoothie recipe calls for a mix of 2 cups of chopped pineapple, 1 frozen banana, half a cup raw coconut, 4 cups of coconut water, and half teaspoon of spirulina. And it's called the Deep Blue Sea. Ta-da!
Will you write it here below so we can also have this recipe? Spirulina. Why spirulina? As a superfood, because I use in my smoothies a lot of superfood, like different super. I like chia. I really like chia seeds. Then I use a lot of flax seeds. I use sesame.
Natasha.
I use hemp seeds as well. So superfood is one of the. Hi Maya. Superfood is one of my best ingredients in smoothies.
Oh, again, I don't hear you.
You don't hear me? Wait, I will write.
Do you hear me?
You froze down. You're back with us.
It might be a bad connection on both sides, but hey Maya.
But you will write here a smoothie recipe, and I will just finish. You are
well in this.
Do we hear you? No. Linda hears us both. Asja is gone. I think maybe if Asja has maybe because Asja is back. Now I lost Asja. Yes, I frozen her. Asja, my dear.
They said I'm frozen. For me, you are frozen. So I think we are just frozen.
You are good to go to sleep. You hear me? They don't see you, I think. Now both in, yes.
Yay, Mike, can see you again. Well,
we will call it. Do you want to add something, Asja?
yes, my dear.
Do you want to add something? Do you hear me? Don't know what is up, but I love
I don't. I don't see.
Do you hear me? No. Do you hear me, Linda? Do you hear me, Asya?
Are we
Do you
here?
hear me? Yes.
So can you hear me? Linda,
Yes.
I see that Linda. Super. Linda asked about. Yeah. Super. Linda, I just want to answer Linda why spirulina is good and important because it boosts energy and it boosts immunity. It supports our cardiovascular health.
Hmm?
Maybe you didn't hear me, but I was answering Linda and I can write it down. Let me maybe go out and come back in. I don't know.
We hear you. We hear you. Okay. Asya went out. I don't know if she's coming back, but I'm really, really thankful that you bared with us for this first live stream interview, face-to-face interview. I hope that she's coming. Okay, she's back. Yes, you're back.
I'm back. I went out and came back in. So can you hear me? I wanted to answer Linda's question about spirulina and why spirulina is good.
Mm-hmm.
Spirulina boosts our energy. It boosts our immune system. It supports really well our cardiovascular system and also our eyes and our brain. It is super, super important in this smoothie. It also gives this deep blue sea color. This is why the smoothie is called that way. But of course, if it wasn't spirulina, then of course in some other smoothies one can use some other superfood. Try this smoothie, get all the ingredients, and you will be just blown away.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Asya. I think that we all learned very much. Let me just sum up your 5 or 6 ingredients about balance. So sleep, very important. Water, please water. To nourish your body with nutrients and good food, to exercise, to work out, to do any sorts of movement, to breathe fresh air, and to harbor positive feelings. Yes?
Positive feelings and thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to stimulate your body's natural healing mechanisms in a natural and non-invasive way. It is absolutely possible. You don't need any kind of, not only that you don't need, but any synthetic, what to call them, synthetic medication. For me, it's not medication at all. The food should be your medicine, right?
Yes.
So
we have a book. You know what would I would suggest. I wanted to ask you actually about your favorite book. My epiphany, like a decade ago, was a book, Hrana čudežno zdravilo. This was like this what these simple things. Onion and garlic and those powerful food, what kind, and this was like, oh my god, we don't doctors. We have everything at home. This was like, for me, was, oh my God, you know. Which is your favorite book?
I mean, you started talking about food, so I have my favorites and my, aha, grand epic aha moment book. It's called 10% Human, and it talks about, it's 10 hours as an audiobook, 10 hours about gut health. This is a huge topic, which I hope we speak more with our sisters, Dijana and, oh my God, help me, Dr. Llugolli. Yes, very soon. I wish to speak with them. I wish that they share this knowledge about why exactly our microbiome in our gut is so crucial, to the point of most important to our health. And when we are feeding our body, what exactly we are feeding, why and how. So
happy tummy, healthy. We say happy tummy, healthy person. This is the ground of. I work a lot with ground, so this is absolutely alpha, beta, health, gut. Healthy gut is.
Yeah, exactly.
We will invite my dear Diana, and preferably if Dr. Tatiana Trekowska will be able to be with us. So yes, gut health, very important, and we can achieve amazing results and balance in our microbiota with simple food, which is available everywhere.
Just look at what Daniela wrote. We didn't mention sex.
We didn't mention sex, yes.
Sex as part of the recipe for balanced, healthy living. But when we finish, Irena Hleb will speak with you about exactly that topic. So please, everybody, stay tuned, because something epic is coming your way.
But we are moving to Irena's page, so
we are moving to okay.
Yeah.
After Asja goes to sleep.
You need to go to sleep. Your clock. Thank you so much.
We are past bedtime, so thank you, my sister. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of you who've been with us.
I would hug you right now. A virtual hug to all of you. Thank us.
Thank you, Natasha.
Yes, you're. Yes, Linda, go to Irena's page and watch a reply tomorrow. It's supposed to be a Friday finale, but Irena decided that she wants to do it today when I'm in my talking zone. So yes, I will say thank you again to Asja. I will say thank you again to all who were with us live, and to all who take time to watch a replay. And of course, I will say to you, good night sleep. Take some of this valuable notes from Asja, and if you do at least 2 things what she mentioned, and apply them already tomorrow or today, you are on really good path, because a lot of people, they just ignore that. Asja, I will end this.
Absolutely great moment to end. I think we said really valuable things, and We are both available to anyone for more questions, for any kind of help, support. Dijana and I are super duper really fantastic when it comes to supporting other women, sharing our knowledge with them, and helping everybody who is now in this moment where her and we used to be at some point in our lives. So please get in touch with us. We are here for you. We did this live because we want to tell you the things that we know and to tell you that we are here for you. So please reach out.
Thank you. Good night.
Ciao. Ciao, everybody.
I just need to figure out how this, yeah.